Good morning, guys. I'm WUSA Season 5, Episode 157. It is very early in the morning on Wednesday morning, and this will probably be an overnight, just depending on how I feel. Leaving very early because I've got meetings on the way, and I don't want to get to my destination too late. So we're starting extra early, but it's still in the high 70s outside. It's been very, very warm few days, but luckily the air conditioner at home is holding up. Everything is fine. Yesterday was a very mediocre day, but what you would expect from a Tuesday. Made some money online, made some money in the casinos, and put together a little bit of a okay type of win. But today is going to be a whole different story. Hopefully, we're going to have more opportunity today. We'll be playing blackjack, we'll be playing slots, might even be playing some poker. I prefer to be playing the other things more, but if we need to, we'll do it. Actually, the more I think about it, if we're going to be doing it overnight, most likely we will be doing some poker as well, so expect that to happen. It's a very hot, hazy day outside, and I think it's going to be in the mid-90s again. I think a lot of the country is going through those really, really warm temperatures. Yesterday I did book my trip. I will not be stopping in California. I will be going straight to Vegas. So expect that to be coming up in the next few weeks. One thing I noticed is rental cars are very inexpensive, because I'll be getting there after the World Series of Poker is over and all that demand is gone, so that's good. Other than that, not really that much going on yet. Just getting my laptop set up. I have some reports I need to get out this morning. I don't care if it's only 7 a.m. By the time I send them out, we'll get those taken care of, and then I'm waiting for some information to do some other scans for some people, and other than that, things should be pretty easy today. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back, and so right now we are about 35 minutes away from our stop, and I've got a meeting going on right now, and I'm in the meeting. Muted, of course, but there's so many people in the meeting, it doesn't matter, so I'm not going to be asked to speak or anything like that, so that's all fine. Now there is another meeting coming up about 10 minutes after I arrive at the casino, and that's the one where I'll have to sit down on the video, I'll have to talk, we'll have discussions, all that kind of stuff. So I need to get situated in a good spot that's quiet so that I can do that meeting, and then I'm pretty much good for the rest of the day. I do have one guy who's kind of being a pain in my butt right now, and he's just asking for a lot of stuff. I did some things for him last night, and then this morning I'm going to have to do some other stuff, so I will try to do that in the 10 minutes before my meeting that I'm at the casino, get situated quickly, and then try to get his stuff done, because I don't like to move a lot while I'm in the meetings on video, because sometimes the background fails and they can see a part of my car or something like that. Not that I'm not allowed to be in my car or be somewhere, I just don't like it. So today's one of the days that I can work from home, so I can be anywhere I want as long as I get my work done. So I'm not too stressed about it. I just don't like to have that happen. So anyway, right now temperature is mid-80s. Right now it's only a little after 8 o'clock, but we're continuing, actually a little bit after 9 o'clock. We're continuing on, and we should be there, like I said, about 35 minutes. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. Finished up my meeting. Came in, looked around, found a play like right away on machines, and was ahead like $20. Then there was like a desert, nothing going on at all. Been here inside for about an hour and 20 minutes. Played about 45 minutes of blackjack on a low limit table, spreading from 25. It was going to be 25 to 150, but never got there. Almost the whole time I was there, except for maybe 4 hands, it was min bet. So it was negative counts the whole way through. Couldn't make any money. My low for the session was minus 150. My high for the session was plus 75, and ended up leaving plus $12.50. So there's nothing there. So right now, looking for something else. I'm going to head to the car also in a little bit and get these reports emailed out, and then we'll come back in and keep going. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back, and that was a terrible session, a terrible everything, completely dead, too many hustlers, not enough machines, couldn't play tables, just about as bad as it could be. I did get just that one session in at blackjack. I was on that table for about 45 minutes or so, and ended up ahead a whopping $12.50. We had a couple team slot pulls that we did. I made $104 on one. I made $124 on another one. Got to talk to a bunch of other APs, which it's nice and everything, but that doesn't make me money. And I was ahead $34 on slots myself. What is that? 1, 250, 280, 270, something like that. That's it. That's all I could make in there. Just walking and walking and walking. Got 10,000 steps in with no good plays at all. I attempted to play blackjack in the high limit area on a $100 table, and guy came running over from another pit to put me in the system. I just don't understand these guys. Either kick me out or let me play, but this half-ass stuff doesn't make any sense. Comes running over. I said, I don't want to be rated. He said, okay. I said, are you going to put me in? He goes, I don't know. Well, why'd he come running over from the other pit if that's not what he was doing? So I walked away from there, went to the low limit. Tables were packed in the low limit. Went to a back area. That's where I played the one session. Went back over there, and it was still at the end of the same shoe. And I hadn't played that shoe, but I know people were, they lost all their money and walked away. And I'd say there was 2.5 decks to go. It was a $25 table, and I asked if I could get a new shoe. And this pit boss has usually been pretty good with me. She's never given me any problems or anything. And I asked if I could get a new shoe, and she said, sorry, we can only do that in the high limit. What's the difference? High limit, low limit? I mean, whatever. So I ended up not doing anything else there. A friend of mine, I was actually on my way out, and a friend of mine called me, and he said, we got this machine, and it's in a good position. Do you want a piece of it? And I said, okay, let me go in, and went back in, talked to him, but looked at the machine, and I said, dude, that's not in a good position. It's a situation where there's multiple levels that you can hit, and the only one that's left is the highest one, and that's just not something that you would chase. A lot of these machines have things that you're going to hit because you know when they're going to hit, and things that are random that are going to hit eventually, but it's not worth chasing it most of the time. So in this case, it was like a must hit by, but not exactly. And it doesn't have to hit by a certain number, but it can reach a certain number and max out. And it had gotten there. It can sit there for 10 years before it hits. And so I said, no, I'm not interested. And so he decided he didn't want to play it either. So I'm talking to him and getting ready to leave. We're wrapping things up. And another guy comes over. This is a guy I've talked about him before. He's been really sick lately, trying to figure out what's wrong and stuff. We talked about his medical stuff that's going on right now and all that. And then he said, hey, do you want to eat? because he gets a free buffet every day for up to 2 people. I said, sure. So we went back there, and they had salad, green beans, chicken, and steak, blueberries, and fruit salad. And so I had some rice with chicken leg and a couple small steaks and some blueberries. That was good. Had a nice ginger ale. That was pretty good. And came back out, talked to my other friend again, and kind of wrapped things up. And my plan was to stay overnight, but I don't see it happening today. Now it's possible that maybe I'll do an overnight tomorrow. That would be really risky for me, because if I do an overnight tomorrow, that means I have to check in the office on Thursday, and that's usually when my team is there. So if they go back and check, they'll say, hey, I don't remember Joe being there on these days, so it doesn't make any sense to do it that way. So if anything, I could come back tomorrow and then go home really late, like 11 o'clock or so, and then head to work, log in, and then go wherever I'm going to go on Friday. So I got to think it over. I could always come back real early in the morning tomorrow, but that would mean leaving at like 5 o'clock in the morning from home. That would get me about an hour and a half in before the shift change. So that may be a possibility, but we got to consider that. So right now I am heading toward home. Not really sure exactly what we're going to do here. I'm most likely going to play some Pot Limit Omaha, actually on the drive home. It's slow enough that I can watch the road and still play. We'll see. Other than that, man, it's definitely still a scorcher out there. Temperature says 100 on my car, and I've been driving for a good half hour now, so it's not like, plus it was in a parking garage, which is not in the sun at all. So it's pretty steamy out here right now. So anyway, that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. So I did not play any Omaha yet. I still have a couple hours to go on my drive. I did stop for some fuel, although I didn't need it. The price was just unbeatable. I couldn't not get it. So stopped, got gas for $3.03 a gallon. And got a drink, and continuing on my way here. I do want to say, man, it's like, when you first get started doing this, you want to go in and you want to pound your local as much as possible and make as much as you can. And I did everything right at my local. I really did. I lasted as long as I possibly could because they already knew my name. I'd already been in the system. And I played the same limit that I always played before, which was a $50 double deck. I had always played that. Every once in a while a 6 deck, but usually $50 double deck. In the past, I had already been pretty much breaking. Even the year before I started as an AP, I think I lost $2,000 at the casino playing $50 hands on average, so with 40 units. So I was actually pretty good, and I feel like may have been less than that because there was some other stuff. Plus, I got a free meal every day, so I was close to even. All right, and that was just the way that I don't want to say that I have a system or anything like that, because I don't have a system without counting. But I was very smart and very conservative with my betting, and kind of had an idea before even starting to count. I didn't know if it was a myth or if it was real. Before starting, I realized that big cards were good for a player, and if I'd see 10 small cards in the previous couple hands, I would already raise. So I was already kind of doing something, but I didn't fully understand it. My first year, basically I did a 1 to 6, 1 to 8 spread, sometimes 1 to 10, and I used 2 deviations only, and that was insurance and 16 against a 10. That was it. After I got kicked out of my my home casino, I went about 2 to 3 hours away. After I got kicked out of that, I went 3 to 4 hours. After I kicked out of that, I went 4 to 5 hours, and that's where we are right now. So now, if you draw a circle around where I live, you have to go so far from one end to the other, to the top to the bottom. You're talking about 10 hours north to south and 10 hours east to west. So I'm covering this huge area, and now I'm at the point where I have to go so far, 6, 7, 8 hours. It doesn't make sense without flying somewhere. So the point of all this that I'm saying is, I'm finding myself more and more waiting for the next trip, and in the meantime, just kind of treading water, you could say, just making enough to pay the bills and keep the bankroll up and all that, but not really advance things and get better. And of course, the last couple of years, I've done a lot of repairs on the house, a lot of upgrades. That kitchen's cost me more than a 12-unit property I once bought. So now I'm at the point where I just got back from this trip, and now I'm getting ready to go on another trip, and I'm just itching to go on that next trip. But at the same time, I have all these things going on at home, repairs that need to be done, things going on with the family. I want to make sure the kids are taken care of properly and all that, and they're getting to be old enough now that they think they know everything, and it gets to be pretty difficult. Right now, I'm like treading water as far as paperwork and time. And I find myself tired all the time, and I feel like I'm stressed all the time, and I have gained a little bit of weight back now, and I really feel it's because of all the stress that I have. And I've said it before, I need like a week of sleep, but I'm just not going to get that week of sleep. So I just have to be smarter with my time. Today when I get home, I've got some research I want to do. I have an idea. I know. I have a new idea for a concept, and I want to kind of map things out. It's not any kind of calculations I need to do. It's just a matter of, do I have time to do it? I think it will work. I think it will be successful. But do I have enough time to do all the research I need to do and get myself ready to be able to take advantage of it? And the answer may be no, but I'm going to try tonight to just sit down and try to figure it out, and we'll see what happens. I also want to stop by the computer store, because yesterday I went to put the micro SD card into the hub for my cameras, and that's not what it needs. The micro SD card is actually for the actual doorbell or specific camera. If you want to put something in locally, that's not what I want to do, though. It's an interesting idea that each of them can have its own chip, and it's just not really worth it. The chip costs more than the camera. So I'm going to return the micro SD card, and what I really need is a 2.5-inch solid state hard drive. So instead of a 256 meg chip, I'm going to try to get a 4 terabyte hard drive, and that should be enough for like 90 days of 24-hour recording at my house. Currently, I only have it set to record about 2/3 of the day. Middle of the day is not necessary, but I do want to eventually set it up to 24-hour recording, and it does, like I said, have sound, and it does have night vision with color. And then I have the 6 cameras coming. So when I get home, we'll make sure everything is good, everything's in order, and then we'll probably head out to the computer store, get that part that I need, and then hopefully get it in the system. Now, one problem I had today is it looks like the hub went down. I think it may have lost network connection temporarily. I see in the logs that it just said error. It didn't say exactly what it is. So I think I'm going to move it to a more centralized location in the middle of the house, and then get all the stuff set up and make sure it's steady, working properly and all that. Once I get all the main cameras set up, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go a little bit further out, like to the garden, to the shed, to the property line, all that kind of stuff, and put more cameras. But my network won't reach that far, and I did it on purpose so that no one can be driving by my house and try to break into my network. But what I do have is a satellite where I can beam internet. And what I'm going to do is beam it toward the backyard, away from everybody in other houses and stuff, and then hook up additional cameras on the shed, on the garden, and at the edge of the property line. And then I'll be able to see a complete picture of my property around the house and from the edges of my property. And I have a feeling we'll actually get to see some good wildlife too. We do see a lot of deer, a lot of squirrels, a lot of rabbits, all kinds of birds and stuff like that. But I think it'll be interesting to see a lot of that stuff on camera. So I'll be doing that in the next couple days. But I'm very excited about getting back to Vegas and doing all those things. I am going to be playing higher limits this time when I go to Vegas. I'm going to be doing less slots when I go to Vegas and more advanced stuff as much as possible. I'm not going to disclose, and I said this like 2 months ago, it was a mistake for me to say I'm going to this place, then this place, and this place. It doesn't make sense. So I would either have to wait until after I went to Vegas and wait a couple months and then release the episodes, or just say I went to Casino 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's probably what I'm going to do, is just number them on a map, and then every time I add a new casino that I haven't been to, give it the next number, and I'll just have to keep track of the names and the corresponding numbers. That way you guys can get an idea in your head of where I am and what I'm doing as far as the number, and associate the number with the experience I had without knowing exactly where I was. As far as my meeting in California, that is canceled now, and we're going to continue to do talks over the phone and stuff, and hopefully negotiate what we're going to do there. And then I hope probably early next year we'll head to California. For the rest of the year, it's going to be Vegas. It's going to be maybe Florida after Vegas, maybe in August. And then in September, we have our cruise. And then October is probably just going to be home. November, we may do another cruise, or December. So we'll see. Other than that, I think there's going to be another probably 2 to 3 day trip that I drive to between now and the end of the year, and we'll see what happens. But now we're in July. Today's July 1st, and I got to update my charts and stuff. I don't know exactly where I am. I'm estimating I'm probably at 85 or so for the year so far. I'm not positive about that. Maybe less, maybe more. But I would love to be at least at 100 by the end of July. Really, at the end of June, I should have been at 100 to have any kind of reasonable year. But it was an awful start to the year. And remember, I had that one session where I lost huge. So that really started my year off pretty poorly. I don't have a script. I just speak as I'm going here, so I know I'm jumping from one subject to the other, but that's the way my brain works. Hopefully you got all that. We can do our couple segments, and the new segment is coming soon. I'm actually thinking about making it bigger than what I said before. We will see, but I'm still figuring that out. Let's do some segments. What did you eat today, MW? Today I had green beans, rice, little chicken leg, a couple small steaks, some blueberries, some nice ginger ale. Overall, it was okay. I'm going to give it like 8. Considering it was free, maybe it should be a little bit more than that, but it was okay, not great. What did you learn today, MW? Just continuing the learning process, and I used AI a lot on my way to this trip today, and I'm continuing to do so now on my way home. Just learning about different games and different concepts and ideas, and just kind of throwing ideas, brainstorming, throwing ideas up against the wall and seeing what sticks. But it's like, when you're talking to a person and you're throwing ideas back and forth, I think it's actually better than AI, but AI is good because it'll give me some feedback, and then if I'm thinking about a concept that might be a little bit complicated, I can ask it, and it can actually do a lot of the legwork for me and get me a couple steps further faster, and I think that's very helpful, but we'll see. So for now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.